Hello students, Standard 8, subject General Science. Today we are going to start our chapter number 15, Sound. So there is a can you recall? In this can you recall? There is one question, how is sound produced? So in earlier standard we have studied that vibration is necessary for sound to be produced. Means sound can be generated from a vibrating object. So today we are going to learn about the production of sound, and to study this production of sound we are going to take the example of tuning fork. So in this picture number 15.1 we can see a picture of tuning fork. Tuning fork in Marathi it is known as नाद काटा. मराठीत याला नाद काटा असं म्हणतात. A tuning fork is made of two prongs and a stem. या नाद काट्याला दोन प्रॉंग्स आहेत आणि एक स्टेम आहे. प्रॉंग्स म्हणजे त्याच्या भुजा आणि स्टेम म्हणजे त्याचा आधार. So when we keep the stem steady and if we struck the prongs, then they begin to vibrate and a certain kind of sound is produced. So in figure number 15.2a we can see a stationary tuning fork. So here we can see figure number A. In this figure we can see a stationary tuning fork, and to show the state of air around the tuning fork vertical lines are used. So here the vertical lines are equally spaced. It indicates that the average distance between the air molecules is the same everywhere, and the average air pressure in three regions A, B and C is also the same. If the stem is kept steady and the prongs are struck, the prongs are set into vibrations. It means that they are set into periodic motion in forward and backward direction. So we will see step by step the result of such motion. So if during the vibration the prongs of the tuning fork go away from each other, so we can see in figure number 15.2b the air outside the prongs is compressed and the pressure there increases. Such a state of high pressure is created in a region A in the figure. The region in which air is at high pressure and high density, it is called as compression. So we can see the dark portion where the layers of air they get crowded. So this portion it is known as compression. So in the next step of vibration, the prongs of the fork come close to each other. So we can see in figure number 15.c, in this case the air molecules near the prongs they get more space to move away from each other. So as a result the air pressure in this region, that is region A, decreases. Such a region in which air is at low pressure and low density is called as rarefaction. So we can see the layers of air they are somewhat away from each other. In this region the air pressure is very low. So this region of air it is known as rarefaction. So however the air molecules in this region which were in compressed state earlier in figure number 15.2b, region A, transfer their energy to the air molecules in the next region, that is the region B. So the air in that region goes to compressed state. we can see the figure number 15.2c, region B. Such a periodic motion of the prongs creates compression and rarefaction in the air, and these are propagated away from the prongs. So these are nothing but the sound waves. When these waves reach our ear, the eardrum vibrates. Accordingly, specific signals reach the brain and we get a sense of hearing a sound. So in this way, we can produce a sound with the help of tuning fork. So there is a one, use your brain power. If sound waves are generated in air, what moves away from the source? Is it the air itself or the state of compression and rarefaction created in the air? So when sound waves are generated in the air, the state of compression and rarefaction created in the air, they moves away from the source of sound. After that, let us study about the propagation of sound and the different medium through which sound gets propagate. So we know that sound travels through some material medium like solid, liquid and gas, and it reaches us. But what if such a medium does not exist between the source of sound and our ear? So what will happen? So we know that sound generation and propagation needs medium like air. So a simple experiment can prove this. The experimental arrangement, it is shown in figure number 15.3. In this experiment, a vacuum tight bale jar is placed on a smooth horizontal surface. The bale jar is connected to a vacuum pump via tube. We can remove air inside the bale jar by using the vacuum pump. So as shown in the figure, the bale jar contains an electric bale which is connected to the power supply through the lid of the bale jar. At the start of this experiment, the vacuum pump it is off and the bale jar contains air in it. So if the key to electric bell is now switched on, the bell start ringing and the ringing can be heard from the outside the bell jar. Now, if the vacuum pump is switched on, it starts removing the air from the bell jar. As the quantity of air inside the bell jar decreases, the level of ringing sound heard outside also decreases. If the pump is operated for sufficiently long period, the quantity of air like inside the bell jar will be low. At this point, the level of ringing sound will also be very low. So this experiment demonstrates that sound generation and propagation needs a medium. So if the air inside the bell jar is totally removed, will we be able to hear the sound of ringing bell? No, we cannot hear the sound anymore. Why? Because there is no any medium, there is a vacuum. So we know that sound does not get propagate through the vacuum. So we should always remember this when two astronauts on the moon talking to each other directly will be unable to listen to each other even if they are very close to each other. The moon does not have atmosphere, and since there is no medium which is necessary for generation and propagation of sound between the astronauts, direct sound propagation between them is not possible, and therefore the astronauts use some technology like the one used in our cell phones to communicate with each other. The waves used in cell phone do not need any medium for the propagation of sound.